Welcome back to English in Fluency, the podcast that helps you understand real English at a comfortable, natural speed. My name is Alex, and I am so glad you are here with me today. If this is your first time listening, this show is made for intermediate learners, people at a B1 level, who want to practice their listening skills with clear, slow, and natural conversations. Every episode, we listen to a real-life situation together. We slow things down, we look at the important words and phrases, and then we build your confidence step by step. Today's episode is called B1 Listening Practice, Slow and Clear English Conversations for Intermediate Learners. We are going to listen to 6 different everyday conversations. These are the kinds of conversations you might have in a restaurant, on the street, with a friend, in a job interview, in a clothing store, and on the phone. Each conversation is short. The speakers talk slowly and clearly. And after every conversation, I will stop and explain the important words and expressions so you understand everything perfectly. So, get comfortable. Maybe grab a coffee or a cup of tea, and let's begin our first conversation. Are you ready? Let's go. Our first conversation happens at a restaurant. A man named Tom is ordering food, and a waiter named Sam is helping him. Listen carefully to how they speak to each other. Sam, good evening. Sir, welcome to Riverside Grill. How many people are in your group tonight? Tom, good evening. It's just me tonight. Sam, perfect. Right this way, please. Here is a table by the window. Is that okay for you? Tom, yes. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Sam, you are very welcome. Here is your menu. Can I bring you something to drink while you look at the menu? Tom, yes, please. Could I have a glass of water and a coffee? Sam, of course. Would you like your coffee with milk or without milk? Tom, with milk, please. And maybe a little bit of sugar too. Sam, no problem at all. I will bring that right away. Do you need a few more minutes with the menu? Tom, actually, I think I'm ready to order now. Sam, great. What would you like tonight? Tom, I would like the grilled chicken with vegetables, please. Sam, excellent choice. Would you like a salad or soup with that? Tom, a salad would be nice. What kind of salad do you have? Sam, we have a garden salad with tomatoes and cucumbers, or a Caesar salad with cheese and bread. Tom, I'll have the Caesar salad, please. Sam, perfect. Is there anything else you would like? Tom, no. That's everything. Thank you. Sam, wonderful. Your food will be ready in about 20 minutes. Tom, that sounds great. Thank you very much. That was our first conversation, and I hope you understood most of it. Now let's slow down and talk about some important words and phrases from that conversation. First, when Sam says, "How many people are in your group tonight?" This is a very common question in restaurants. The waiter wants to know how many people will sit at the table. You can answer with a number, like 2 people, or 3 people, or you can say, "It's just me," like Tom did. This means only one person is eating. Next, notice how Sam says, "Right this way, please." This phrase means, "Please follow me." Waiters and hosts use this phrase all the time when they are taking you to your table. Another useful phrase is, "Would you like something to drink while you look at the menu?" This is a very polite way to offer a drink before you order your food. In your answer, you can say, "Could I have?" which is a polite way to ask for something. Tom says, "Could I have a glass of water and a coffee?" This is much more polite than simply saying, "Give me water and coffee." Also, pay attention to the question, "Would you like your coffee with milk or without milk?" This is called an alternative question because it gives you two choices. You can answer with one of the choices, for example, "With milk, please." Finally, let's look at the phrase, "I think I'm ready to order now." This is exactly what you say in a restaurant when you have finished reading the menu and you want to tell the waiter what food you want. It's a very natural and common sentence, and I really recommend that you remember it and practice saying it out loud. Now let's move on to our second conversation. This time, we are on the street. A woman named Lisa is visiting a new city, and she is a little lost. She asks a stranger named David for help finding a museum. "Lisa, excuse me, could you help me for a moment?" David, "Sure, of course. What do you need?" "Lisa, I'm looking for the City Art Museum. Do you know where it is?" David, "Yes. Actually, I know exactly where that is. It's not too far from here." Lisa, "Oh, that's great to hear. Is it possible to walk there?" David, "Yes, definitely. It takes about 15 minutes on foot." Lisa, "Perfect. That's not too long. Can you tell me how to get there?" David, "Of course. First, go straight down this street for about 2 blocks. Lisa, okay, straight for 2 blocks. And then?" David, "Then, when you reach the traffic light, turn left onto Main Street." Lisa, "Turn left at the traffic light. Got it." David, "After that, keep walking until you see a big park on your right side." Lisa, "A big park on the right. Okay, I understand." David, "The museum is right next to the park. You really cannot miss it." Lisa, "This is so helpful. Thank you so much for your help." David, "You're very welcome. I hope you enjoy the museum." Lisa, "I'm sure I will. Have a wonderful day." David, "You too. Take care." Wonderful. That was our second conversation. And now let's break down some of the language. When Lisa says, "Excuse me, could you help me for a moment?" This is a very polite way to start a conversation with a stranger. We often use "excuse me" when we want someone's attention, especially someone we don't know. Next, David answers with, "Sure, of course. What do you need?" Both "sure" and "of course" show that David is happy to help. These are friendly, natural responses that you will hear very often in English conversations. Now, listen to the question. Is it possible to walk there? This is a polite way to ask if something can be done. Instead of saying, "Can I walk there?" Lisa uses "Is it possible?" which sounds a little more formal and thoughtful. In David's answer, he says, "It takes about 15 minutes on foot." The phrase "on foot" means walking, not by car or by bus. This is a very useful phrase when you are talking about transportation and directions. Now, let's talk about the direction words in this conversation, because they are extremely important for real life. Go straight means to continue in the same direction without turning. Turn left and turn right tell you which direction to go at a corner or a traffic light. And the phrase "keep walking" means to continue walking without stopping. Finally, notice the expression, "You really cannot miss it." This means the place is very easy to find, so easy that it would be almost impossible not to see it. This is a common and friendly expression that people use at the end of giving directions, and it's a wonderful phrase for you to remember. Let's continue now with our third conversation. In this one, two friends named Emma and Ryan are talking about their plans for the weekend. Emma: Hi, Ryan. Do you have any plans for this weekend? Ryan: Hi, Emma. Not really. I was thinking about just relaxing at home. Emma: Oh, that sounds nice too. But I actually have an idea for you. Ryan: Really? What's your idea? Emma: Well, a few of us are going hiking on Saturday morning. Would you like to join us? Ryan: That sounds like a lot of fun. Where are you planning to go? Emma: We are going to Green Hill Park. Have you ever been there before? Ryan: No, I haven't. But I've heard it's really beautiful. Emma: It really is. There are amazing views from the top of the hill. Ryan: That sounds amazing. What time are you planning to leave? Emma: We are meeting at the park entrance at 9 in the morning. Ryan: 9 in the morning should be fine for me. Should I bring anything? Emma: Yes. Please bring some water and comfortable walking shoes. Ryan: No problem. I have both of those things already. Emma: Wonderful. It's also a good idea to bring a small snack. Ryan: Good idea. I'll bring some fruit and maybe a sandwich. Emma: Perfect. That sounds great. I'm really excited for Saturday now. Ryan: Me too. Thank you so much for inviting me. Emma: Emma: Of course. It's always more fun with more people. That was a lovely, friendly conversation between Emma and Ryan. And now, let's look closely at the language they used. First, notice the question. Do you have any plans for this weekend? This is one of the most common questions in English, especially between friends and co-workers on a Friday. You will hear it constantly, so it's very important to know how to answer it. Ryan answers with, Not really. I was thinking about just relaxing at home. The phrase, not really, is a soft, friendly way to say no. It sounds much more natural than simply saying no. Also, relaxing at home is a very common way to describe doing nothing special, just resting and enjoying free time. Next, Emma says, Would you like to join us? This is a friendly and polite way to invite someone to do something together. You can use this phrase whenever you want to invite a friend, a coworker, or even someone new. Now notice Ryan's response. That sounds like a lot of fun. This is an excellent expression to show that you are interested and excited about an idea. You can also simply say, That sounds fun, or That sounds great. Let's also talk about the phrase, Have you ever been there before? This question asks about past experience, and it's extremely useful when you are talking about places, activities, restaurants, or movies. Ryan answers, No, I haven't. But I've heard it's really beautiful. This shows he hasn't visited the place personally, but he has information about it from other people. Finally, let's discuss the phrase, It's always more fun with more people. This is a warm, friendly way to say that a group activity becomes better and more enjoyable when more friends join. It's a lovely sentence to remember for your own conversations about plans and invitations. Now, let's move to our fourth conversation, which takes place in a job interview. A woman named Sophie is interviewing for a job, and the interviewer's name is Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins: Good morning? Sophie: Thank you for coming in today. Sophie: Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. Mr. Collins: Of course. Please, have a seat. and make yourself comfortable. Sophie, thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Collins, so why don't we start with a simple question? Can you tell me about yourself? Sophie, sure. I studied business at university, and I've been working in marketing for 3 years now. Mr. Collins, that's very interesting. What do you enjoy most about marketing? Sophie, I really love working with creative ideas and finding new ways to connect with customers. Mr. Collins, that's wonderful. Now, why are you interested in this position specifically? Sophie, well, I've always admired this company, and I think my skills match this role perfectly. Mr. Collins, I'm glad to hear that. What would you say is your biggest strength? Sophie, I would say my biggest strength is communication. I'm always honest and clear with my team. Mr. Collins, that's a very important quality in this industry. Do you have any questions for me? Sophie, yes. Actually, what does a typical day look like in this position? Mr. Collins, great question. A typical day includes team meetings, planning projects, and working closely with clients. Sophie, that sounds exactly like the kind of work I enjoy doing. Mr. Collins, perfect. Well, thank you again for coming in. Sophie, we will contact you very soon. Sophie, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate your time today. That was a very professional and formal conversation. So let's break down the important expressions together. First, notice how the interview begins with, "Thank you for coming in today." This is a polite and standard way to welcome someone to a formal meeting or interview. Sophie responds with, "Thank you so much for having me," which is also a very polite and professional response. Next, Mr. Collins says, "Please have a seat and make yourself comfortable." This phrase is very common in formal situations, and it simply means please sit down and relax. Now, let's talk about one of the most famous interview questions in the world. Can you tell me about yourself? This question seems simple, but it's actually very important. In her answer, Sophie gives a short summary of her education and her work experience. This is a wonderful example for you to follow in your own interviews. Also notice the phrase, "I've been working in marketing for 3 years now." This grammar structure, called the present perfect continuous, is used to talk about an action that started in the past and continues until now. It's extremely useful for talking about your job experience. Next, let's look at the question. Why are you interested in this position specifically? The word specifically here means exactly or in particular. The interviewer wants a detailed and honest answer, not just a general one. Sophie's answer, "I've always admired this company, and I think my skills match this role perfectly," is a fantastic example of a confident and thoughtful response. Finally, notice how the conversation ends with, "We will contact you very soon." This is a very common and polite way for an interviewer to end a job interview, and it usually means they need some time to make their final decision. Now, let's continue with our fifth conversation, which happens in a clothing store. A young man named Jake is shopping, and a store worker named Anna is helping him. Anna, hi there. Welcome to the store. Is there anything I can help you find today? Jake, hi. Yes, actually. I'm looking for a jacket for the winter season. Anna, wonderful. We have a great selection right over here. What size do you usually wear? Jake, I usually wear a medium, but sometimes a large fits better. Anna? No problem. Let's take a look at a few options for you. Jake, this blue one looks really nice. Can I try it on? Anna? Of course. The fitting rooms are right over there, on your left. Jake, thank you. I'll be right back. Anna, take your time. Let me know if you need a different size. Jake, actually, this fits perfectly. I really like how it looks. Anna, it looks amazing on you. That color really suits you well. Jake, thank you. How much does this jacket cost? Anna, it's currently on sale for $50 instead of $80. Jake, oh, wow. That's a really great deal. I'll definitely take it. Anna, excellent choice. Would you like to pay by card or by cash? Jake, by card. Please. Anna, perfect. Let's head over to the register, and I'll help you check out. Jake, thank you so much for all of your help today. Anna, you're very welcome. I hope you enjoy your new jacket. That was a very natural and common shopping conversation. So let's talk about some of the important vocabulary. First, when Anna says, "Is there anything I can help you find today?" This is a classic and extremely common question that store workers use everywhere. You will hear this exact question or something very similar in almost every store you visit. Jake responds with, "I'm looking for a jacket for the winter season." The phrase "I'm looking for" is perfect when you want to describe what you need to buy. Next, Anna asks, "What size do you usually wear?" This question is essential for clothing shopping, and Jake answers with, "I usually wear a medium, but sometimes a large fits better." Notice how he compares two sizes using the word "but," which shows a small difference or exception. Now, let's look at the phrase, "Can I try it on?" This is one of the most important sentences for shopping for clothes. It means you want to put on the item to see if it fits your body correctly. Anna answers, "The fitting rooms are right over there," which tells Jake exactly where to go. Next, notice the expression, "That color really suits you well." This is a lovely compliment that means the color looks very good on the person wearing it. Now, let's talk about prices. Anna says, "It's currently on sale for $50 instead of $80. The phrase "on sale" means the price has been reduced, so the item is cheaper than usual. Jake responds with, "That's a really great deal," which means the price is very good and worth buying. Finally, notice the question, "Would you like to pay by card or by cash?" This is a standard question you will hear at almost every checkout counter in the world, so it's very important to understand and remember it. Now, let's move on to our sixth and final conversation for today. This conversation happens over the phone, where a woman named Karen is calling to book an appointment at a hair salon. The receptionist's name is Maria. Maria, good afternoon. Thank you for calling Bright Hair Salon. How can I help you? Karen, good afternoon. I would like to book an appointment for a haircut. Please. Maria, of course. I'd be happy to help you with that. What day works best for you? Karen, would Thursday afternoon be possible? Maria, let me check our schedule for you. Yes, we actually have an opening at 3 o'clock. Karen, that sounds perfect for me. Could I book that time? Please? Maria, absolutely. Can I have your name? Please? Karen, yes. My name is Karen Wilson. Maria, thank you. Karen, and could I also have a phone number in case we need to contact you. Karen? Sure. It's 5, 5, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3. Maria. Perfect. I have that written down. Is this your first time visiting our salon? Karen. Yes. It is actually. A friend of mine recommended this place to me. Maria. That's wonderful to hear. We really appreciate that. Do you have a specific hairstylist in mind? Karen. Not really. I'm open to anyone who is available at that time. Maria. No problem at all. I'll schedule you with one of our best stylists. Karen. That sounds great. Thank you so much. Maria, you're very welcome. So, we will see you this Thursday at 3 o'clock. Karen. Perfect. Thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Maria. You too. Karen. We look forward to seeing you soon. That was our 6th and final conversation. So let's finish with a few more useful expressions. When Maria answers the phone with, "Thank you for calling Bright Hair Salon. How can I help you?" This is a standard and professional way that many businesses answer their phones. It's polite, clear, and welcoming. Karen responds with, "I would like to book an appointment for a haircut. Please." The phrase book an appointment is extremely useful, and you can use it for doctors, dentists, hair salons, and many other services. Next, notice the question. What day works best for you? This is a friendly and flexible way to ask about someone's schedule. Karen answers with a question of her own. Would Thursday afternoon be possible? This is a polite way to suggest a specific time while still sounding open and respectful. Now, let's talk about the phrase, "Let me check our schedule for you." This shows that Maria is looking at the calendar or booking system to see what times are available. She then says, "We actually have an opening at 3 o'clock. The word opening here means an available time slot, not an open door. Next, notice how Maria asks for personal information politely. "Can I have your name, please? And could I also have a phone number?" These are very polite ways to request information, and they are much softer than simply saying, "Give me your name." Finally, let's look at the ending of the conversation. Maria says, "We will see you this Thursday at 3 o'clock, which confirms the appointment clearly. And Karen finishes with, "Have a wonderful rest of your day," which is a warm and friendly way to end a phone call. This phrase is slightly longer than simply saying, "Have a nice day," and it sounds even more personal and caring. Let's keep going, because we still have 5 more conversations to practice together. Our 7th conversation happens at a doctor's office. A man named Peter is not feeling well, and he is talking to a doctor named Dr. Reynolds. Dr. Reynolds. Good morning. Peter. Please come in and have a seat. What seems to be the problem today? Peter. Good morning. Doctor, I've had a really bad headache for the past 3 days. Dr. Reynolds. I'm sorry to hear that. Can you describe the pain for me? Peter. It's a constant pain, mostly around my forehead and my eyes. Dr. Reynolds. I see. Have you also had any other symptoms, like fever or dizziness? Peter. Actually, yes. I felt a little dizzy, especially in the mornings. Dr. Reynolds. Okay. That's helpful information. Have you been sleeping well recently? Peter. Not really. To be honest, I've been quite stressed at work lately. Dr. Reynolds. That could definitely be part of the problem. Are you drinking enough water every day? Peter, probably not enough. Now that you mention it, Dr. Reynolds, that's often a common cause of headaches. So let's start there. I recommend drinking more water and getting more rest. Peter, that makes sense. Should I take any medicine for the pain? Dr. Reynolds, yes, you can take a mild pain reliever for now. I'll also write you a prescription just in case. Peter, thank you so much. Doctor, I really appreciate your help. Dr. Reynolds, of course, if the headaches continue after 1 week, please come back and see me again. Peter, I will definitely do that. Thank you again for your time today. Dr. Reynolds, you're very welcome. Peter, I hope you feel better very soon. That conversation was full of useful health vocabulary, so let's go through it together. First, notice the question. What seems to be the problem today? Doctors often use this phrase instead of simply asking, "What's wrong?" because it sounds gentler and more caring. Peter answers with, "I've had a really bad headache for the past 3 days." This grammar structure, the present perfect, is perfect for describing a symptom that started in the past and is still happening now. Next, the doctor asks, "Can you describe the pain for me?" This is a very common question in medical conversations, and it's helpful to know words like constant, which means the pain never stops, and it continues all the time. Now, notice the phrase, "Have you also had any other symptoms?" The word symptoms refers to signs of illness, like fever, pain, or dizziness. Peter uses the word dizzy, which describes the feeling of the room spinning around you. Also pay close attention to the phrase, "now that you mention it." This is a wonderful expression that means, "I didn't think about this before, but now I realize it's true." It's a very natural and common phrase in everyday English conversation. Finally, let's look at the ending. The doctor says, "If the headaches continue after 1 week, please come back and see me again." This is a common way doctors give follow-up instructions, and it's important to understand this kind of advice clearly. Now, let's move on to our 8th conversation, which takes place at an airport. A woman named Grace is checking in for her flight, and she is speaking with an airport worker named Daniel. Daniel, good morning. Welcome to the check-in counter. Can I see your passport and ticket? Please? Grace. Good morning? Yes, of course. Here you go. Daniel. Thank you. I see you are flying to London today. Is that correct? Grace. Yes, that's right. I'm really excited for this trip. Daniel. That's wonderful to hear. Do you have any luggage to check in today? Grace. Yes. I have 1 large suitcase and 1 smaller bag. Daniel. Perfect. Please place your suitcase on the scale for me. Grace. Sure. Here it is. Daniel. Great. Your suitcase weighs exactly 20 kilograms, so that's perfectly fine. Grace. Oh, that's a relief. I was a little worried it might be too heavy. Daniel. No. You're all good. Would you prefer a window seat or an aisle seat? Grace. A window seat would be lovely, if that's possible. Daniel. Let me check for you. Yes. I can give you seat 14A, which is a window seat. Grace. That sounds perfect. Thank you so much. Daniel. You're very welcome. Your flight boards at gate 22 at 11:30 this morning. Grace. Gate 22 at 11:30. Got it. Thank you. Daniel. Here is your boarding pass and your passport back. Have a fantastic flight. Grace, Grace, thank you very much for your help. Have a great day. That was a very useful travel conversation. So let's look at some important airport vocabulary together. First, notice how Daniel starts with, "Can I see your passport and ticket, please?" This is one of the most common requests you will hear at any airport around the world. Next, listen to the phrase, "Do you have any luggage to check in today?" The word luggage means your bags and suitcases, and to check in luggage means to give it to the airline before your flight. Grace answers with, "I have one large suitcase and one smaller bag," which is a clear and simple way to describe your bags. Now, notice the instruction. Please place your suitcase on the scale for me. A scale is a machine that measures weight, and airports always use one to check that your suitcase is not too heavy. Daniel says, "Your suitcase weighs exactly 20 kilograms, and this is important vocabulary for anyone traveling internationally." Next, let's talk about the question, would you prefer a window seat or an aisle seat? This is an extremely common airport question. A window seat is next to the window, while an aisle seat is next to the walking path in the airplane. Finally, notice the phrase, "Your flight boards at gate 22. The word boards here means the time when passengers can start walking onto the airplane, and gate refers to the specific door or area in the airport where you wait before your flight. Let's continue with our 9th conversation, which is a little different from the others. In this conversation, a customer named Michael is making a complaint at an electronics store because his new headphones stopped working. He is speaking with the store manager named Rachel. "Michael, excuse me. I bought these headphones here last week, and they've already stopped working." "Rachel, I'm really sorry to hear that. Let's take a look and see what's happening." "Michael, sure. Here they are. The sound just completely stopped this morning." "Rachel, I see. Do you happen to have your receipt with you today?" "Michael, yes. Actually, I have it right here in my bag." "Rachel, perfect. Thank you. Since this is within the return period, I can offer you a full refund or a replacement." "Michael, a replacement would be great. Actually, I really like these headphones." "Rachel, no problem at all. Let me get you a brand new pair from the back." "Michael, thank you so much. I really appreciate you solving this so quickly." "Rachel, of course. That's exactly what we're here for. Here is your new pair." "Michael, perfect. These look exactly the same. Thank you again for your help." "Rachel, you're very welcome. If you have any more problems, please don't hesitate to come back." "Michael, I will definitely remember that. Have a great rest of your day." "Rachel, you too." "Michael, I'm sorry again for the inconvenience." That conversation showed us how to politely make a complaint and solve a problem, which is a very important skill in English. First, notice how Michael begins with, "Excuse me. I bought these headphones here last week, and they've already stopped working." This is a clear, calm, and polite way to explain a problem, without sounding angry or rude. Rachel responds with, "I'm really sorry to hear that," which is a kind and professional way to show sympathy for the customer's problem. Next, notice the question, "Do you happen to have your receipt with you today?" The phrase, "do you happen to have," is a very polite and slightly formal way to ask if someone has something with them. A receipt is the piece of paper that proves you bought something in a store. Now, let's look at the phrase, since this is within the return period. The return period is the amount of time you have to bring something back to the store if there is a problem. Rachel offers Michael two choices: a full refund, which means getting your money back, or a replacement, which means getting a new item instead. Michael chooses a replacement and says, "A replacement would be great, actually." Finally, notice the very kind phrase at the end. If you have any more problems, please don't hesitate to come back. The phrase "don't hesitate" means don't feel worried or nervous. Just do it. This is a wonderful and very common phrase in polite customer service conversations. Now, for our 10th conversation, let's listen to two friends, Olivia and Ben, who are talking about a movie they recently watched. Olivia: "Hey, Ben, did you watch that new movie everyone's been talking about?" Ben: "Yes. Actually, I watched it last night. What did you think of it?" Olivia: "Honestly, I loved it. The story was so exciting from the very beginning." Ben: "I completely agree. The acting was also really impressive. Don't you think?" Olivia: "Definitely. My favorite actor did such an amazing job in this movie." Ben: "Mine too. Which part of the movie did you enjoy the most?" Olivia: "I think the ending was my favorite part. It was so surprising." Ben: "I know. I definitely didn't expect that ending at all." Olivia: "Me neither. I was completely shocked when it happened." Ben: "Would you watch it again? Or was one time enough for you?" Olivia: "I would definitely watch it again. There were so many small details I probably missed." Ben: "That's true. I think I'd like to watch it again too. Actually." Olivia: "We should watch it together sometime and talk about all the details afterward." Ben: "That sounds like a wonderful idea. Let's plan that for next weekend." Olivia: "Perfect. I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun." Ben: "Me too. I'll see you then." Olivia: This conversation was more casual and relaxed, which is perfect for talking about hobbies and entertainment with friends. First, notice the question: did you watch that new movie everyone's been talking about? This is a very natural way to bring up a popular topic in conversation. Ben answers, "Yes, actually." And the word "actually" here simply adds a little emphasis, showing genuine interest in answering the question. Next, listen to Olivia's opinion. "Honestly, I loved it." The word "honestly" at the beginning of a sentence shows that you are sharing your true, sincere opinion. This is an extremely common way to begin expressing your thoughts in English. Now notice the phrase, "Don't you think?" Ben adds this to the end of his sentence to invite Olivia's opinion and to check if she agrees with him. This is a wonderful way to keep a conversation friendly and interactive. Also, pay attention to the phrase, "I definitely didn't expect that ending at all." The word "definitely" adds strong emphasis. And "didn't expect" means something happened that surprised you. Finally, let's look at the ending of the conversation. We should watch it together sometime and talk about all the details afterward. The word "sometime" here means at some point in the future, without a specific date. And it's a very common and casual way to suggest plans with a friend. Let's move now to our 11th conversation, which takes place in a bookstore. A woman named Hannah is looking for a book recommendation, and she is talking to a bookstore worker named Chris. Chris. Hi there. Welcome to Page Turner Books. Can I help you find something today? Hannah. Hi. Yes, please. I'm looking for a good book to read on vacation. Chris. Wonderful. We have so many great options. What kind of books do you usually enjoy? Hannah. I really love mystery novels, especially ones with a lot of suspense. Chris. In that case, I have the perfect book for you. Follow me this way, please. Hannah. Great. I'm excited to see what you recommend. Chris. Here it is. This mystery novel just came out last month, and it's incredibly popular right now. Hannah? Oh, this cover looks really interesting. What's the story about? Chris. It's about a detective trying to solve a mystery in a small, quiet town. Hannah. That sounds exactly like the kind of book I enjoy reading. Chris. I think you'll really love it. Many customers have told me they couldn't put it down. Hannah, that's a great sign. I'll definitely take this one. Then, Chris. Excellent choice. Would you also like to see some other similar books? Hannah? Sure. That would be lovely. I always love discovering new authors. Chris? Perfect. Right this way. I have a few more wonderful recommendations for you. Hannah? Thank you so much for your help today. This is exactly what I needed. Chris? You're very welcome. I hope you truly enjoy your vacation reading. That was a lovely and relaxed conversation about books. So let's look at a few important phrases. First, notice the question. What kind of books do you usually enjoy? This is a very natural way to ask about someone's personal taste or preference. Hannah answers, I really love mystery novels, especially ones with a lot of suspense. The word suspense describes the exciting feeling of not knowing what will happen next in a story. Next, Chris says, this mystery novel just came out last month. The phrase just came out means the book was recently published and is now available in stores. Now, notice the wonderful expression. Many customers have told me they couldn't put it down. This phrase means the book is so exciting and interesting that people don't want to stop reading it, even for a moment. It's a fantastic way to describe a truly captivating story. Finally, let's talk about the phrase. I always love discovering new authors. The word discovering here means finding something new and exciting for the first time, and an author is the person who writes a book. For our 12th and final conversation today, let's listen to a woman named Nicole, who is calling about renting an apartment. She is speaking with a landlord named Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker. Hello, this is Mr. Baker speaking. How can I help you today? Nicole? Hello? I'm calling about the apartment you have listed for rent. Mr. Baker? Oh, wonderful. Yes, that apartment is still available right now. Nicole, that's great news. Would it be possible to see the apartment sometime this week? Mr. Baker? Absolutely. That shouldn't be a problem at all. What day works best for you? Nicole? Would Wednesday afternoon be okay with you? Mr. Baker? Yes. Wednesday afternoon works perfectly for me. Let's say around 2 o'clock. Nicole, 2 o'clock. Sounds perfect. Could you tell me a little more about the apartment? Mr. Baker. Of course. It's a one-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor of the building. Nicole. That sounds lovely. Does it include parking as well? Mr. Baker? Yes? It actually comes with one parking spot, right behind the building. Nicole? That's wonderful, because I definitely need parking for my car. Mr. Baker? Perfect. Then this apartment should work really well for you. Nicole? I'm feeling very hopeful about this one already. What's the address, please? Mr. Baker, the address is 124 Maple Street. I'll meet you right outside the building. Nicole? Perfect. 124 Maple Street, on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. I'll see you then. Mr. Baker. Sounds great. Nicole, I look forward to meeting you this Wednesday. That brings us to the end of our 12th conversation, and it was full of useful vocabulary for renting a home. First, notice how Nicole begins with, "I'm calling about the apartment you have listed for rent." This is a wonderfully clear and direct way to explain the purpose of a phone call. Next, listen to the question. Would it be possible to see the apartment sometime this week? This polite structure is perfect for asking to schedule a viewing or a visit. Mr. Baker answers, "That shouldn't be a problem at all," which is a friendly and reassuring way to say yes to a request. Now, notice the phrase, "It's a one-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor of the building." This is exactly how English speakers describe the size and location of an apartment. The word floor here refers to the level of the building, like the 1st floor, the 2nd floor, or the 3rd floor. Also, pay attention to the phrase, "Does it include parking as well?" The word include means something is already part of the offer, without any extra cost. Finally, let's look at the ending. "I'll meet you right outside the building." This is a very natural and common way to arrange to meet someone at a specific location. And it's the perfect way to end a conversation about scheduling a visit. We still have a few more wonderful conversations to practice together. So let's keep going. Our 13th conversation happens at a gym. A man named Marcus is joining a gym for the first time, and he is speaking with a trainer named Jessica. Jessica. Hi there. Welcome to Fit Life Gym. Are you interested in becoming a member today? Marcus. Hi. Yes. Actually, this is my first time visiting a gym, so I have a lot of questions. Jessica. No problem at all. That's exactly what I'm here for. What are your main fitness goals? Marcus. I'd like to lose a little weight and also build some muscle over time. Jessica. That's a great combination of goals. Have you ever worked out with a trainer before? Marcus. No, never. I'm honestly a bit nervous about starting. Jessica. That's completely normal. Don't worry at all. Everyone feels that way at the beginning. Marcus. That makes me feel a lot better. Thank you. Jessica. Of course. Let me show you around the gym first, so you feel more comfortable. Marcus. That would be really helpful. Thank you so much. Jessica. This area over here has all of our cardio machines, like treadmills and bikes. Marcus. Okay. And what about that area over there with all the weights? Jessica. That's our strength training area. I recommend starting with lighter weights at first. Marcus. That sounds like a smart plan. How often should I come to the gym? Jessica. For beginners, I usually recommend coming 3 times a week to start. Marcus. 3 times a week sounds very manageable for my schedule. Jessica. Perfect. Would you like to schedule your first training session with me? Marcus. Yes. Definitely. I think I'll need some guidance in the beginning. Jessica. Wonderful. Let's find a time that works well for both of us. That was a very encouraging and supportive conversation. So let's talk about the useful language inside it. First, notice the question. Are you interested in becoming a member today? This is a common and polite way that gyms and clubs ask about joining. Marcus answers with, "This is my first time visiting a gym," which is a natural way to explain that you are new to something. Next, listen to the question, what are your main fitness goals? The word goals refers to the things you want to achieve or accomplish. Marcus mentions two goals, to lose weight and to build muscle, which are two extremely common fitness goals in English conversations about health. Now, notice the phrase, "That's completely normal. Don't worry at all." This is a warm and reassuring expression, perfect for calming someone's nerves or worries. Also, pay attention to the phrase, "Let me show you around the gym." The expression "show someone around" means to guide a person through a place and point out the important areas. And you can use this phrase for a gym, an office, a house, or almost any location. Finally, let's look at the phrase. I think I'll need some guidance in the beginning. The word guidance means help and direction from someone with more experience. And it's a lovely word to describe support when you're learning something new. Now, let's continue with our 14th conversation, which takes place in an office kitchen. Two co-workers, Julia and Mark, are meeting for the first time and getting to know each other over a cup of coffee. Julia. Hi. I don't think we've met yet. I'm Julia, from the design team. Mark. Hi, Julia. Nice to meet you. I'm Mark. I just started in the marketing department. Julia. Oh, welcome to the company. How is your first week going so far? Mark. It's going really well. Thank you for asking. Everyone here has been so friendly. Julia. That's wonderful to hear. This is definitely a very supportive place to work. Mark. I can already tell. So, how long have you been working here? Julia? Julia. I've been here for about 2 years now, and I really love it. Mark. That's great to hear. What do you enjoy most about your job? Julia. I love working on creative projects with such a talented team. Mark. That sounds amazing. I'm hoping to feel that same way soon, too. Julia. I'm sure you will. It just takes a little time to settle in. Mark. That's really good to know. Do you have any advice for someone new here? Julia. Yes. Actually, don't be afraid to ask questions whenever you need help. Mark. That's really helpful advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. Julia. Of course. Feel free to come find me if you ever need anything. Mark. I really appreciate that. Julia. It was so nice meeting you today. Julia. It was wonderful meeting you too. Mark. I'll see you around the office. That was a friendly, welcoming conversation between two co-workers. So let's go through some of the natural expressions together. First, notice how Julia begins with, I don't think we've met yet. This is a polite and common way to introduce yourself to someone you don't know at work. Mark responds with, nice to meet you, which is one of the most important and common phrases in the entire English language. Next, listen to the question. How is your first week going so far? The phrase so far means up until this exact moment, and it's a wonderful way to ask about someone's recent experience. Mark answers, it's going really well. Thank you for asking, which is a warm and appreciative response. Now, Notice the phrase. This is definitely a very supportive place to work. The word supportive describes an environment where people help each other and encourage one another. Also, pay attention to the expression. It just takes a little time to settle in. The phrasal verb settle in means to become comfortable and familiar with a new place, job, or situation. Finally, let's look at the wonderful advice Julia gives. Don't be afraid to ask questions whenever you need help. This is such an important and encouraging sentence. And it's a perfect example of giving friendly advice using the structure, don't be afraid to, followed by an action. Let's move on now to our 15th conversation, which happens at a public library. A student named Ethan is looking for information about a study group, and he is speaking with a librarian named Ms. Patel. Ms. Patel. Good afternoon. How can I help you today? Ethan. Good afternoon. I heard that the library sometimes hosts study groups. Is that true? Ms. Patel? Yes, that's absolutely correct. We have several study groups here every week. Ethan. That's great to hear. I'm currently studying for a difficult math exam. Ms. Patel. In that case, I think our Tuesday evening math group would be perfect for you. Ethan, that sounds exactly like what I need. What time does it start? Ms. Patel. It starts at 6 in the evening, and it usually lasts about 2 hours. Ethan. That works really well with my schedule. Where does the group meet exactly? Ms. Patel. It meets in the study room on the second floor, right next to the reading area. Ethan. Perfect. I know exactly where that is. Do I need to sign up in advance? Ms. Patel. Yes, it's best to sign up beforehand, just so we know how many people are coming. Ethan. That makes sense. How can I sign up for the group? Ms. Patel. You can simply write your name on the sheet right here at the front desk. Ethan. Great. I'll do that right now. Thank you so much for your help. Ms. Patel. You're very welcome. I hope the study group helps you with your exam. Ethan. I'm sure it will. This is exactly what I was looking for. That conversation was full of helpful vocabulary related to studying and school life. So let's break it down together. First, notice how Ethan begins with, I heard that the library sometimes hosts study groups. The phrase I heard, that is a natural way to mention information you learned from someone else, without saying exactly who told you. Next, listen to Ms. Patel's answer. Yes, that's absolutely correct. The word absolutely adds strong confidence and certainty to the word correct, making the sentence sound very sure and definite. Now, notice the phrase, our Tuesday evening math group would be perfect for you. This is a lovely way to make a recommendation using the structure would be perfect for, which shows enthusiasm and confidence in the suggestion. Also, pay attention to the question, do I need to sign up in advance? The phrase in advance means before something happens or ahead of time. And it's an extremely useful phrase for talking about planning and preparation. Finally, let's look at the phrase, this is exactly what I was looking for. This is a wonderful sentence to express satisfaction, and it shows that something perfectly matches what a person needed or wanted. For our 16th and truly final conversation today, let's listen to two friends, Sarah and Daniel, who are planning a birthday party together for their friend Amy. Sarah. Hey, Daniel. Have you started planning anything for Amy's birthday party yet? Daniel. Hi, Sarah. Not yet. Actually, I was hoping we could plan it together. Sarah, that sounds perfect. I was thinking we could have it at the park this year. Daniel, I love that idea. The weather should be really nice next weekend, too. Sarah, exactly what I was thinking. Should we invite everyone from our friend group? Daniel, definitely. The more people, the better. Amy has so many close friends. Sarah, that's true. Should we also plan some games or activities for everyone? Daniel, yes, that would be really fun. Maybe we could organize a few outdoor games. Sarah, great idea. I can also bring a speaker so we can play some music. Daniel, perfect. That will really help create a fun and happy atmosphere. Sarah, what about food? Should we order pizza? Or maybe have a small barbecue? Daniel, a barbecue sounds amazing. Honestly, I could bring my grill for that. Sarah, that would be wonderful. I'll take care of the cake and the decorations. Daniel, perfect. That sounds like a great plan. I'll also send a message to everyone. Sarah, sounds good. I think Amy is going to absolutely love this party. Daniel, I really think so too. She deserves such a wonderful celebration this year. Sarah, definitely. I can't wait to see her face when she arrives at the park. That was such a warm and cheerful conversation about friendship and celebration. So let's look at the final expressions of today's episode. First, notice the question. Have you started planning anything for Amy's birthday party yet? The word yet at the end of a question asks if something has happened before this specific moment. Daniel answers, not yet, actually, which is a very natural and common way to say something hasn't happened so far. Next, listen to the phrase, I was hoping we could plan it together. The structure I was hoping is a soft, polite way to express a wish or a desire. And it sounds much gentler than simply saying, I want. Now, notice the expression. The more people, the better. This is a wonderful and very common English structure used to say that a bigger number is always a positive thing in a certain situation. Also, pay attention to the phrase. That will really help create a fun and happy atmosphere. The word atmosphere here describes the overall feeling or mood of a place or an event. Finally, let's look at the phrase. She deserves such a wonderful celebration this year. The word deserves means someone has earned something good because of their kindness, hard work, or good qualities. And it's a beautiful word to use when talking about people you care about. Before we finish, let's practice 2 more conversations together, because a little extra practice always makes a big difference. Our 17th conversation takes place at a car rental counter. A traveler named Anna is renting a car, and she is speaking with an employee named Josh. Josh, good afternoon. Welcome to City Car Rentals. How can I help you today? Anna, good afternoon. I have a reservation for a small car for the weekend. Josh, perfect. May I have your name and reservation number, please? Anna? Yes. My name is Anna Torres, and here is my reservation number. Josh, thank you. Anna, let me pull that up on the computer for you. Anna? No problem. Take your time. Josh, here we are. I see you booked a compact car for 3 days. Anna? That's correct. Is that car available and ready to go today? Josh? Yes. It's ready and waiting for you right outside. Can I see your driver's license? Please? Anna? Of course. Here it is. Josh? Perfect. Everything looks good. Would you like to add insurance for extra protection? Anna? Yes. I think that would be a good idea, just to be safe. Josh? Great choice. That will give you full coverage in case anything happens. Anna? That sounds really reassuring. Thank you. Josh? Of course. Here are your keys, and the car is parked in space number 12. Anna? Perfect. Thank you so much. What time do I need to return the car? Josh? Please return it by 10 in the morning on Monday, with a full tank of gas. Anna? Got it. 10 in the morning on Monday, with a full tank. Thank you. Josh? You're very welcome. Enjoy your weekend. Anna? And drive safely. That was a very practical travel conversation. So let's review some important vocabulary from it. First, notice how Anna begins with, I have a reservation for a small car for the weekend. The word reservation means you already booked or arranged something in advance. And this word is extremely useful for hotels, restaurants, and car rentals. Next, Josh asks, May I have your reservation number, please? This is a formal and polite way to request information, and it's very common in professional customer service situations. Now, let's talk about the phrase, I booked a compact car for 3 days. The word compact describes a smaller, more efficient type of car, and it's a common category you will see when renting a vehicle. Also, notice the question, would you like to add insurance for extra protection? The word insurance refers to a service that protects you financially if something unexpected happens, like an accident. Josh explains that insurance gives full coverage, meaning complete financial protection. Finally, let's look at the instruction. Please return it by 10 in the morning on Monday, with a full tank of gas. The phrase full tank means the fuel container in the car is completely filled. And this is very important information to remember whenever you rent a car. For our 18th and absolute final conversation today, let's listen to two neighbors, Patricia and Robert, who are talking outside their apartment building about the weather and their upcoming plans. Patricia: Good morning. Robert: Beautiful day today, isn't it? Robert: Good morning. Patricia: Yes, it really is. The sun feels so nice today. Patricia: I know. After all that rain last week, this weather feels wonderful. Robert: Absolutely. Are you planning to do anything special today? Patricia: Actually, yes. I'm thinking about going for a long walk in the park. Robert: That sounds lovely. I might actually join you, if that's okay. Patricia: Of course. I would really love the company. Robert: Great. What time were you thinking of leaving? Patricia: Maybe around 4 o'clock, once it gets a little cooler outside. Robert: 4 o'clock works perfectly for me. Should we meet right here? Patricia: Yes, let's meet right here by the front entrance. Robert: Sounds good. I'll bring my dog along too, if you don't mind. Patricia: Not at all. I would love to see him again. He's such a sweet dog. Robert: He really is. He gets so excited whenever we go for walks. Patricia: That's adorable. Well, I'll see you at 4 o'clock then. Robert: Perfect. I'll see you then. Patricia: Enjoy the rest of your morning. Patricia: You too. Robert: I'll see you very soon. That was a warm, friendly conversation between neighbors, and it's the perfect way to end today's practice. First, notice how Patricia begins with, Beautiful day today, isn't it? This type of question, called a tag question, is extremely common in casual English conversation, especially when talking about the weather. Robert agrees with, "Yes, it really is," which is a simple and natural way to confirm someone's opinion. Next, listen to the phrase, "After all that rain last week, this weather feels wonderful." This shows a comparison between the bad weather before and the good weather now, which is a very natural way to talk about the weather in English. Now, notice the question, "Are you planning to do anything special today?" This is a friendly and casual way to ask about someone's plans for the day. Patricia answers, "I'm thinking about going for a long walk in the park," using the structure "I'm thinking about," followed by an activity, which is a soft and natural way to describe a plan that isn't fully certain yet. Finally, let's look at the phrase, "I would really love the company." The word company here doesn't mean a business. It means having another person with you. And it's a lovely way to say you enjoy someone joining you for an activity. Before we wrap up completely, let's practice one truly last conversation together. Because I think you're really building wonderful momentum right now. Our 19th conversation takes place at a coffee shop, where a regular customer named Diana is chatting with a barista named Leo while she waits for her order. Leo: "Good morning, Diana. The usual order today?" Diana: "Good morning." Leo: "Yes, please, a medium latte with oat milk." Leo: "Coming right up. How has your week been going so far?" Diana: "Honestly, it's been quite busy, but in a good way." Leo: "That's great to hear. Anything exciting happening this week?" Diana: "Actually, yes. I just started a new project at work that I'm really enjoying." Leo: "That sounds wonderful. What kind of project is it?" Diana: "It's a project about redesigning our company's website. It's very creative work." Leo: "That sounds like a perfect fit for you." Honestly, Diana: "Thank you. I really think so too. I'm learning so much already." Leo: "That's amazing. Here is your latte. By the way, careful. It's quite hot." Diana: "Thank you so much." Leo: "This smells absolutely wonderful. As always." Leo: "I'm so glad you like it. Are you working from the coffee shop today?" Diana: "Yes. Actually, I think I'll stay here for a couple of hours." Leo: "Perfect. Let me know if you need anything else while you're here." Diana: "I definitely will. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your day." Leo: "You too." Diana: "Good luck with the new project." That was a warm, comfortable conversation between two people who clearly know each other well, which shows us how English sounds in familiar, everyday relationships. First, notice how Leo begins with, "The usual order today?" This short, friendly question shows that Diana is a regular customer, and it's a very natural way to speak with someone you see often. Next, listen to the phrase, "coming right up." This is a common and cheerful way that workers in cafes and restaurants say that your order will be ready very soon. Now, notice the question, "How has your week been going so far?" Diana answers, "Honestly, it's been quite busy, but in a good way." The phrase "in a good way" is a lovely addition that changes the meaning of busy from something negative into something positive and exciting. Also, pay attention to the phrase, "That sounds like a perfect fit for you." The expression, "a perfect fit," means something matches a person's skills, personality, or interests extremely well. Finally, let's look at the ending. Good luck with the new project. This is a warm, supportive, and extremely common way to end a conversation when someone has shared good news about their work or their plans. Actually, let's fit in just one more short conversation, because I think this one is really useful too. Our 20th conversation takes place in a taxi. A passenger named Laura is riding to the train station, and she is talking with the taxi driver, whose name is George. George, good evening. Where would you like to go tonight? Laura, good evening. Could you take me to the central train station, please? George, of course. No problem at all. Are you in a hurry tonight? Laura, actually, yes. A little. My train leaves in about 30 minutes. George, don't worry. I know a quick way there. We should arrive with plenty of time. Laura, that's a huge relief. Thank you so much. George, of course. Is this your first time visiting our city? Or do you live here? Laura, I actually live here, but I'm traveling to visit my family this weekend. George, that sounds lovely. Family visits are always so special, especially around this time of year. Laura, they really are. I haven't seen them in almost 2 months. George, I'm sure they'll be very happy to see you. Here we are, right at the station entrance. Laura, perfect timing. How much do I owe you for the ride? George, that will be $12. Please. Laura, here you go. And please keep the change. George, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Have a safe and wonderful trip. Laura, thank you again for getting me here so quickly. Have a great rest of your evening. That was a quick but very useful conversation. So, let's finish with a few more helpful expressions. First, notice how George begins with, "Where would you like to go tonight?" This is the standard and most common question you will hear from any taxi driver. Laura answers with, "Could you take me to the central train station, please?" This polite structure is perfect for giving directions to a driver in a respectful and clear way. Next, listen to the phrase, "Are you in a hurry tonight?" The expression "in a hurry" means needing to do something quickly, without wasting any time. Laura responds, "My train leaves in about 30 minutes, which clearly explains her time pressure using the structure leaves in, followed by an amount of time. Now, notice George's reassuring response. "Don't worry. I know a quick way there." This is a wonderfully comforting phrase, and it shows kindness and confidence at the same time. Finally, let's look at the ending of the conversation. Please keep the change. This phrase means the driver can keep the extra money as a tip, and it's a common and polite way to show appreciation for good service. Well, that truly brings us to the end of today's episode, and what an incredible amount of practice we completed together. Let's take a moment to review everything we listened to today. We practiced ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions on the street, talking about weekend plans with a friend, having a formal job interview, shopping for a jacket in a clothing store, booking a haircut appointment over the phone, describing symptoms at a doctor's office, checking in for a flight at the airport, making a calm and polite complaint at an electronics store, chatting casually about a movie with a friend, asking for a book recommendation at a bookstore, calling about renting an apartment, joining a gym for the first time, meeting a new co-worker, asking about a study group at the library, planning a birthday party with a friend, renting a car for a weekend trip, chatting with a neighbor about the weather, catching up with a friendly barista at a coffee shop, and finally, taking a quick taxi ride to catch a train. That is a truly enormous amount of real, natural, everyday English, covering homes, jobs, health, travel, friendships, and daily errands. And if you understood even most of it, you should be extremely proud of yourself today. Every single one of these situations is something you might genuinely experience in your own life. Whether you are traveling, studying, working, or simply living your daily routine in an English-speaking environment. And that is exactly why we practice with real, natural conversations like these, instead of only studying grammar rules from a textbook. I really hope these conversations helped you improve your listening skills, and I hope you picked up plenty of new vocabulary and expressions that you can start using in your own conversations very soon. Remember, the single most important thing when you are learning English is to practice a little bit every single day, even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes. Consistency is always more powerful than doing a huge amount of studying just once in a while. I would really encourage you to listen to this episode again tomorrow, and notice how much more you understand the second time around. You might be surprised at how many extra details you catch once your ears are already familiar with the voices and the vocabulary. You can also try pausing after each sentence and repeating it out loud in your own voice. This simple technique helps your pronunciation, your rhythm, and your overall confidence all at the same time, and it truly makes a big difference over time. Another wonderful idea is to pick just 3 or 4 expressions from today's episode that you really liked. Write them down somewhere and try to use them in a real conversation this week. Small, consistent steps like this are exactly how fluency is built, one conversation at a time. If you enjoyed today's episode, please remember to follow English in Fluency, so you never miss a new episode packed with slow, clear, and natural conversations just like these. And if you have a friend, a classmate, or a family member who is also learning English, please consider sharing this podcast with them too. Learning a language is always easier, more enjoyable, and more motivating when you have support and company along the way. I also love hearing from you, so if you have a suggestion for a topic or a situation you would like us to practice in a future episode, please feel free to reach out and share your ideas. This podcast exists for you, and your feedback genuinely helps shape future episodes. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today. I know there are countless things you could be doing right now, and I truly appreciate that you chose to spend this time practicing your English with me. This has been Alex from English in Fluency, and I will see you very soon in the next episode. Until then, keep listening every day, keep practicing patiently, and above all, keep believing in yourself and your ability to become fluent. You are already making wonderful progress, even if it doesn't always feel that way. Goodbye for now. Take care of yourself, and I will talk to you again very soon.